The first speaker from Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar, J. Yates.
How is everybody? That was really sad. Try one more time. A little more energy. How is everybody doing? Thank you. Some of you guys may remember me from Pride, but my name is Jay Yates. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns. And I am here today because I believe in a police-free future. And because I believe that Summer died because that future is still far away from us, and that Summer's life wouldn't have been taken if it weren't for police brutality. And I think that it's so important for us to make that connection, because Summer wasn't just out protesting for like funsies. Like, I think that there is sort of a narrative going on in the media that we're just sort of out here for fun. And that we're out here to like release whatever pent up coronavirus quarantine energy that we have. But this is real work, and it's serious work, and Summer losing their life is proof of that. This is not just a fun time. I mean, it is nice to be out in the air and to be able to be out of our houses, but this is like serious business, and I think that it's important for us to remember that and have that energy today, especially when we are remembering Summer. But again, I want to say that I think that there are people who genuinely can't imagine a world where the police don't exist. And I just want to point out that the police have not been part of our lives for all that long. I think that people sort of think of law enforcement and constant surveillance and government intervention into civilian life as just par for the course, but it's not. We have had a time without police, and we will have one again. And I want this to really be a call to action for everyone here, that in order for that future to actually happen, we have to actually start making that future happen. We have to start getting more involved in the political process that I'm sure we all hate and distrust, but we have to start getting involved in that process so that we can create that police-free future. And one of the ways that we can do that is to support community control of police. And I think that I myself, at the beginning of this, had a lot of reservations with that phrase, because I think that a lot of people think of community policing and you're like, oh, that just means that like the same racist people and the same racist cops a lot of the times are just gonna be like in charge of policing the community in the same ways as before. And I'm not down for that, and I don't think that any of you are down for that. But community control of the police can be a pathway to defunding the police, it can be a pathway to dismantling the police, and it can be a pathway to abolishing the police altogether. But we have to think of this as a marathon and not a race. And the last thing that I really wanted to talk about is just sort of my perspective as a trans person participating in this, because Summer was non-binary and I'm non-binary, and I think that I feel a lot of kinship with Summer, even though obviously I've never met them. They live all the way in Seattle, which is very far away. And I think that it would be easy for me to dismiss my connections to Summer because Summer is a white person. But I think that Summer and I actually have a lot in common. I think that we've both been doing this since the uprising began. I think that we both probably faced a lot of barriers in our lives that led us to protest. A lot of disparity and a lot of access issues that we had to deal with as trans people. And so I just kind of want to call attention to like trans issues in this moment and just remind people that like those issues are key to liberating all of us. Like, when you liberate trans people, and you place them at the center of your movement, you are creating a space in which everyone could be liberated. Trans women are so essential to our struggle. Trans non-binary people are so essential to our struggle. And trans men are so essential to our struggle. Do not don't let your own sort of myopic view of what liberation is hinder you from seeing how you're connected to other people in this moment. I think that one of the things that I see as the most critical to activism that actually means something is knowing what your connections to your communities are and really making an effort to make sure that you are centering the people that have the least connectedness to the community. And as a trans person, I can tell you that I often do not feel connected to my community at all. I feel left behind, I feel ignored, I feel forgotten, and I think that Summer probably felt the same way in a lot of ways. And I think that we just all need to do a better job of really bringing the most vulnerable of us inside, and really bringing them inside to this movement, because we need all of us in order for this to succeed. So that's all I really wanted to say for now. I'm sure you'll hear from me again as the day goes on, and I will give my stay behind the truck mantra that some of you may be familiar with by now. But I'm gonna turn the mic back over to Toussaint. Thank you.